Welcome back to the Hallmark Report. Of course, we're running down each week in new Hallmark content. I would have said movies, but now we've got 2 TV shows going. So our Hallmark correspondent, Kinsey Campbell, is here with the rundown of what was going on the Hallmark Channel this week.
Yeah, a lot going on this week. A lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of movies, and like I said, now we've got 2 TV shows running.
2 TV shows because we have the 2-episode premiere of Holidays.
Holidays. All right. Let's talk about Holidays. Once again, we won't be giving ratings on these until the season's over. You'll give a whole rating, but let's talk about Holidays. This is you said they showed the first 2?
They showed the first 2. This is a show about multiple families.
Okay.
And the first episode gives you an overview of all the families, and then the episodes that follow it seem to be focused on each individual family.
Gotcha.
So, I think I'll just give a rundown of the families.
Okay.
And then from there, we'll just fill in their own stories.
Okay.
So the first episode was called The Beginning.
Makes sense.
We're introduced to the John C. McGinley character, who is basically Clark Griswold.
Okay. Yeah, always ripping off from iconic Christmas stuff.
Yep. So he's putting up all these Christmas lights. The neighbors don't like him putting up all these lights. This is apparently there's been a feud between these families for years.
Gotcha.
And he is married to Virginia Madsen, who thinks he's decorating too much.
Of course.
And they have 3 kids, and there's conflict with those kids. Including their daughter, Holland Roden, who we saw last week in the 5 Gold Rings movie. Yeah.
Right.
She's back as their daughter, and she's dating the neighbor's son.
Uh-oh.
Which causes conflict.
Uh-oh.
Because their parents don't get along. It also causes conflict because she was the middle school bully of his sister, who's played by Naomi Gonzalez. And apparently in middle school, she used to call her Easy Bake.
Oh.
And, yeah. Okay. And we've just gotten a hint of what their conflict is.
We'll explore that going forward.
We'll explore that later, whatever happened with them in middle school. Then there is Ian Harding, who's a Hallmark regular. He was also on Pretty Little Liars, as many of the people at Hallmark were.
Right.
He is an architect who's come home for Christmas. He will be moving to Australia soon with his girlfriend, or will he?
Gotcha.
And he runs into Aaron Cahill, who is a police officer and his former high school classmate.
Oh.
They didn't get along in high school, though. They were chemistry lab partners, and it did not go well, apparently.
But sparks might be flying now.
Maybe, and she's also a widow raising a son.
They love a widow or widower on Hallmark.
Yes, they do. And then there's Osric Chow, who I know from Supernatural, which I'm guessing a lot of people will know him from Supernatural.
Yeah, there's a lot of big fans.
Yeah, he's a man coming home for Christmas with his fiance, and his mom really loves his fiance. It seems like loves his fiance more than him.
Weird.
And the conflict there is that his grandma doesn't know he's gay, and they tried to send her off to a spa for Christmas, but her flight got delayed, and now she's unexpectedly home for Christmas.
Oh, no.
And
that's going to cause turmoil.
She does not know this. Yes. So that's the conflict within that family.
Okay.
Then there's Lindy Booth, who's a single mom who runs a bakery.
Gotcha.
And she has a crush on the man who helps fix things in the bakery.
Of course she does.
And the conflict she's having is that her sister, is it Rochelle Lefevre from the Twilight movie?
Yeah. Yes.
Is her sister who's coming home for Christmas, and they apparently have some issues.
So much conflict in this show.
So much conflict. And then the last family is Dennis Haysbert and Loretta Devine.
Oh,
as
those are good people.
a divorced couple who are causing their daughter-in-law stress at Christmas,
Mm.
and she is bringing to Christmas her much younger boyfriend.
Uh-oh, scandal.
Yes, so that's how we ended with that family, because she just kept saying boyfriend. She didn't mention that he's quite a bit younger than her.
I see. Well, this does seem like they've a little bit of a jump in quality of their actors with people like John C. McGinley and Virginia Madsen and Dennis Haysbert.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. We've definitely gone up.
Yeah, because these aren't people I normally associate with Hallmark.
No, these are people I'd never seen on Hallmark before.
Right, yeah. I mean, Virginia Madsen's like an Academy Award nominee. So, I mean, these are
No,
real deal actors.
No, and it's good. I enjoyed it because we got real actors here.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
They're trying something with the show.
They're trying something here.
Yeah.
The second episode specifically focuses on the Hill family, who is the Ian Harding character.
Mm-hmm.
He has to do community service because in the first episode he accidentally hits a fire hydrant with his car.
Of course, it had to be. Well, I mean, it would for community service. So I was gonna say also just low stakes for Hallmark.
Yeah, I think he forgot to put the parking brake on.
That sounds about right.
So for his community service, he's helping at the community center with Erin Cahill and her son. He's helping the son build an ornament for an ornament competition because he's an architect. I've
never heard of an ornament competition. I'm sure people have.
Apparently,
done them,
it's a thing.
Okay.
It's a very sweet episode. He has really good chemistry with the kid. They're pretty funny back and forth.
Okay.
And he and Erin Cahill have a nice chemistry. I would say the big conflict is that now he's sort of starting to fall in love with Erin Cahill and her son.
Obviously.
But oh no, here comes the girlfriend back into town to remind him that they're supposed to move to Australia. And the episode kind of ends with, will he move to Australia?
TikTok, we have to move to Australia.
Yeah. She's basically like, pack up. And I'm like, pack up? He's at his parents' house.
Pack up your parents. We're taking them to Australia.
There's a weird scene where for Christmas, he gets his parents a place in a retirement home. He's like, you two are getting old. Why don't you move out of your house and into this retirement home? I've already bought it for you. And they're like, yeah, no, we don't want that. And I'm like, that is a weird gift.
Well, it's weird to just have done that.
Yeah, he's like, here's the keys to it.
Don't buy people real estate, I think is just a good...
I know that was a weird gift. But so we end the episode with, what's his decision going to be? Will he stay in the small town or will he move to Australia with his girlfriend?
I have some theories, but I don't want to spoil anything. Having not seen it.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe
but so far, holidays, you're liking.
Yeah. It's fun. I'm enjoying it.
All right. Now check back in we have more mistletoe murders.
More mistletoe murders. We have a new murder on mistletoe murders.
Uh-oh.
Because we've now started Peril of the Bells.
Oh.
And somebody is going after members of the Singing Snowbells.
Uh-oh.
Which is the town choir.
Oh, so, they're really... So we've got a serial murderer now?
Well, one member was killed in a hit and run, or was it an accident?
I'm guessing not, because it is the mistletoe murders.
And then another member has had a sleigh fall on them. They got food poisoning, and someone put bee pollen in their mouth spray, which they're allergic to.
Yeesh.
But they've survived all of those things. So,
man, they're unkillable.
Apparently, I really thought the bee pollen was going to get her, but no, she's fine.
Wow.
But then there's also people who are like, was she the person who committed the hit and run?
Oh, okay.
So our main character has now gone undercover in the choir
now, remind me
to try and figure out.
Is our main character actually like a detective, or is she just a lady?
She has a mysterious past.
Okay.
And she's also trying to figure out who ruined her life. That's a side story.
Gotcha. Okay. So there's an ongoing...
Yes, there's an ongoing thing about something bad happened to her, and somebody did it, but she doesn't know who. I'm not
yeah.
positive what exactly happened.
That's the X-Files, the mythology episodes, as we call them as fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten into her whole backstory yet.
Gotcha. That'll probably be by end of season.
Yeah. Who's going after the singing snowball?
Okay. Well, and you're still enjoying Mistletoe Murders?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. There's our check-in on the TV shows. Let's talk now about the movies you watched.
So the first movie we have is Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince.
That's right. We're back to this franchise.
Yeah, back to the Unwrapping Christmas franchise.
And you were not, for those who didn't see, you were not a fan of the first Unwrapping Christmas.
I was not a fan of Unwrapping Christmas, Tina's Miracle. Now we have Mia's Prince.
Is Mia's Prince any better than Tina's Miracle?
No.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
So this is Catherine Davis, who is seems to be a popular video game voice actress. She was. She was recently in Star Wars Outlaws.
I did play that.
So she does like Hallmark movies, and then she also does video game voice acting.
Okay.
And then Nathan Witt is the main guy, and he would be known from just all the shows that shoot in Canada.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of them. If
you're hanging around Vancouver, you're probably in this stuff.
Yeah, he's been in so many of them.
So this, once again, to remind people, this is, each of these movies is about a different person, but they're all in a group of college friends. Is that the...
It is a group of 4 college friends who all own a gift wrapping shop.
Oh, they all... Okay, I see. So they all own the gift wrapping shop.
They all work at the gift wrapping shop.
Okay.
And so the synopsis for this one is romance novel enthusiast Mia meets Bo, a philanthropist who is the spitting image of her favorite book hero. As they consider exploring a new romance, Bo's mother has other ideas.
Oh boy. Okay.
So yes, Mia is obsessed with this Christmas romance novel. And she keeps having dreams about the book and this prince. And she's saving money to buy a first edition of it, and it costs $6,000. And so she's been saving up money to buy this. And then one night she meets a guy who is the spitting image of the main guy from this novel.
Does she know that from the cover, or just he matches the description, the book? Because
I think he matches the description.
I just think the idea of the spitting image of not an image is very interesting to me.
Yeah, I think watching it, I was like, is this supposed to be like if you met like the spitting image of like Mr. Darcy? Like, is
that's
that
what it sounds
we're going
like.
for? Like, it's kind of like as someone who's obsessed with Jane Austen.
Didn't they already make that? That was a movie too, wasn't it?
They I think, was it last? Like Valentine's, they did a bunch of Jane Austen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just feel like that's been
and there
done.
was some where Darcy was real.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's trying. So once again, we're at the gift wrapping shop, which apparently is a line out the door. Which I'm so baffled by this gift wrapping shop and how popular it is and how much money it's making. There's a lot. They bond over their love of poetry. She talks about her love of books a lot, which I'm like, she loves books, but her dream is a gift wrapping shop.
Yeah.
The whole thing is that she's a pushover. She kind of just lets everybody steamroll her, and she never stands up for herself, and her learning to do that.
So this is the second. There are going to be 3 of these? This is a trilogy?
There's going to be 4.
Oh, it's 4. A quadrilogy, which I think was made up only for the Alien box set when that came out. They made up that word, but
yeah.
Oh boy! And so you're not looking forward to the second half of these, I take it.
I am not. The other thing so there's this whole thing where they're at this Christmas gala, and there's this gift wrapping competition, and there's like different stages to it, and each of them has a different gift wrapping skill, and so they compete in that part of the competition. And so far, they've always won their skill, but I'm also like, they helped put together this gala. So, of course, they're going to win.
Oh, obviously.
And they always win. They keep saying that, like, oh, they've won every year. And it's like, of course, because they helped throw the thing.
Right. Yeah. Dare I even ask how many gingerbread men you're giving
It's a
this?
one. It's a one. These are boring. And I have to watch 2 more of them.
Yeah. One lone gingerbread man.
If one of them is good, I will be shocked. Like,
honestly, at this point, I think we're hoping one of them's a 2. You know?
yeah, I mean they're just boring. There's just not a lot of energy here.
You've brought this up, yeah.
So, and to me, that's the worst thing Hallmark can be. I'll take a ridiculous plot.
Right.
I just don't want it to be boring.
Oh boy. Well, Unwrapping Christmas not doing great for us. Well, let's move on then to what you watched next.
Next was A Reason for the Season, which is a Hallmark Mysteries movie.
Is it a mystery? It's just on Hallmark. This is what I can't understand. Hallmark Mysteries is a channel, but it doesn't seem like all the movies are mysteries on it.
I think it might be called Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
Okay.
Because this one, not really. Yeah. I mean, she's hiding her identity. If
that's all of them, though. That's all of them, though. It seems like.
Well, it has that. This one stars Taylor Cole and Kevin McGarry, who are Hallmark regulars.
I feel like I've seen Taylor Cole in something. That name sounds
Taylor
familiar.
Cole has been on a lot of the CW shows.
Yeah, that's probably where I saw her then.
Yeah, she's in a very creepy episode of Supernatural.
Okay.
Where a girl from a painting comes to life, and it's terrifying.
That show seemed to mess you up.
Yeah. So this one is about, in order to earn her trust fund, Evie is tasked with granting Christmas wishes to the people who saved her life on the night of her birth. To aid in her cause, she employs Kyle, a handsome local attorney, to track down those who helped and attempts to secretly learn what they might want while maintaining her anonymity.
Oh.
So, yeah. Intrigue.
Sounds like it.
Who is she? They don't know. Well, one guy figures it out.
Because once again, as we bring up a lot, subterfuge is huge in these movies.
Yes. So her mom's like, you're spoiled, and I can't give you your inheritance until you prove that basically you can be like a functioning human being in the world.
I mean, fair.
So you have to go to this town that saved your life when you were a kid, when you were born.
All right. See, this is always, I'm like, okay, fair. And then you're like, oh, something no one would do.
Yeah. So she got her car stranded in the snow and ended up in this diner with all these people from the town who helped her give birth, and then there was like a complication, and so the baby had to be taken to a hospital, and they helped pay for the hospital bill.
Got it. Okay.
So she's like, here's a picture of them from the night you were born. Go to this town. Don't tell them who you are.
Oh, no, never.
Use a fake name and do good deeds for each one of them. And then you can get your inheritance.
That's so weird.
And this local attorney,
that's weird.
Kind of is like, who's kind of like Ed. He is an attorney, but he works in a ice skating rink.
Oh, it's a very small town, right there. We all have multiple jobs and stuff like that, right?
He's also the hockey coach.
Oh.
He's gonna help you find these people and figure out what do they need as a good deed.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
It's complicated. We later find out that she has to hide her identity because the mom years ago had offered to do good deeds for everyone, and they said no.
Oh man. So okay. So
yeah. So she's like, if they know who you are, they'll probably say no.
What kind of good deeds is she doing?
She helps buy a fire truck for the fire department. She
sure. Yeah, I knew. Okay.
Gets money to build a statue to honor one of the women's families.
It sounds like she's just paying for things.
Yeah, she reunites the father and son who've been estranged.
I mean, that's all. Well, okay, that's the first one that actually sounds like what I would consider like a good deed. Just like buying a new fire truck or a statue are nice, but they're not. It's not like I don't consider that like a classic good deed.
What was the other one? She helps find a new town doctor because the doctor who delivered her is retiring.
Okay.
And it's a small town, so she helps find a new doctor for the town.
Great.
Yeah.
This sounds amazing.
Yeah, this one is complicated.
Sounds like it.
Point so it has a real ice skating rink, which is rare to see in Hallmark.
Well, because
like,
they're usually filming in the summer, right? You know, so
it's a full size indoor ice skating.
Oh, indoor.
rink.
Okay, well that does make so they probably still were shooting.
But usually it's like
they
set up this one outside. And it's tiny and like 5 people can fit on it.
Right. That's production value over there on Hallmark.
Huge for Hallmark.
Yeah. Hey, this one's got a real ice skating rink in it.
It was like,
this one's crazy. We're doing it all, man.
I think last week I talked about the Hallmark women wearing a lot of coats.
Yes, but they have many different coats, is what you were talking about.
She had 5.
5 coats.
She had 5 coats.
Wow.
So I'm like, that's
a lot of coats.
That's too many coats.
You heard it here first, folks. That's too many coats.
Too many coats. What is she doing? Come on, Evie. Also, if your last name is Lane.
Yeah.
And you have a daughter.
Yeah.
Obviously, you name her Lois.
Well, okay. That's on you. That's a you thing, though.
But you would. You don't go Evie, you go Lois.
Okay. How many gingerbread do you give this?
I found this one fairly heartwarming.
Okay.
Like, it's pretty nice.
Uh-huh.
And the actors are pretty good, so I'll give it a 4.
Wow.
The plot makes almost no sense of what she's having to do. But really well done, Hallmark.
Okay. Well, there you go. It's a 4.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all right. So that sounds like that's a big one for you then. What's the next one you've got?
The next one is Christmas with the Sings.
Christmas with the
which
Sings.
Stars and Anuja Joshi and Ben Hollingsworth.
I don't know them.
He's a Hallmark guy. She apparently was on that Fox show, The Resident.
Never watched it, so I don't know.
So if you watch The Resident, he was on it.
You probably saw him on there, maybe.
Yep. This one is for Asha Singh. Christmas is the most important time of the year.
Okay.
But when she's stuck working at the hospital during the holidays, she wishes for some much-needed Christmas magic. Enter Jake, her former high school classmate, who unexpectedly reappears in her life. After a magical year together, Jake proposes, but their first Christmas as an engaged couple isn't exactly the fairy tale they imagined. When they head home for the holidays, they quickly discover their picture-perfect romance is about to get a serious reality check.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah, it is complicated because he did not ask her father for her hand in marriage.
And they're very old-fashioned.
Yeah. Well, he's never even met her parents, so.
That's interesting. Okay, I know. I think it's pretty old-fashioned to have to ask for someone's hand in marriage, but the idea that you're marrying somebody having even met their parents is unusual.
I thought that
was
weird.
Yeah.
And she hasn't met his parents, and I'm like, this is weird.
And also, they've been dating a week. It's crazy. No.
Like, you've been together a whole year.
Yeah.
You're from the same town, so your parents are in the same
town.
Well,
that really is
and
what makes no sense.
At no point during that year you ever just went home and were like, let's have our parents?
Yeah.
Or let's meet.
Look,
I don't know.
I know logic is not number one on Hallmark's priorities, but, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so they knew each other in high school. She was his chemistry tutor, and he was cool in high school. And she was a mathlete.
Oh,
so how is it possible they're together as adults?
Oh, no. Well, opposites attract, right?
It makes no sense.
This is wild. This one sounds wild.
they run into someone from high school and was like, really, you two? And I'm like, you're adults now.
Yeah, well, I also like there's a few things that are crazy about that. Number one, I like the idea that's like, but you had such different personalities in high school. You obviously haven't changed.
Yeah. We're, in our 30s.
Yeah. Yeah. That's weird.
We're still going by he was cool and she was a mathlete.
And you'll forever be those things.
Yeah. This one, again, steals the Notting Hill walking down the street to show time passing.
They love that.
And I'm like, again with this? We've already done this in one this year.
Nope.
Yes, it was a cool scene in Notting Hill, but we don't have the budget for that. I will say this one is when I'm like, I'm getting real tired of CGI snow.
Oh.
I don't want to see any more CGI snow.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of CGI snow. That's not like a ding just on this one. I'm just tired of it.
Okay.
So a lot of this movie is about, can our families, we're very different. My family is Indian. Your family is not.
Right.
Her family is her dad is very Christian. His family is not.
Okay.
Like, can we blend these families together because they're not getting along? His parents won't take their shoes off in her family's house, and that's a rule in their house. Which I'm like, just take your shoes off.
Yeah, I think that's sort of a thing that's okay for the, homeowner to dictate, right? Like.
Yeah, like if that's what they want, just do it.
Yeah, it costs you nothing.
There is a scene of them getting Chinese food, and they reference it from their favorite restaurant, the Golden Dragon. And I did wonder if that was a reference to the Hallmark movie Christmas at the Golden Dragon, which was about a Chinese restaurant.
Could be.
And I'm like, oh, are we referencing?
Well,
are these the same world?
It's the Captain America meme. I understood that reference.
I like her brother. I like his wife. I like her mom. The other family members are kind of annoying. His parents are pretty annoying. Her dad is really over the top.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all about, can we be together if our families are different?
The big question is, how many gingerbread do you give it?
I'll give it 3. It's perfectly watchable.
Okay, 3 it is.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Christmas with the Saints gets 3. Okay, moving on. What's next?
Next is Jingle Bell Run.
Jingle Bell Run. Oh, they're running.
They're running. This has Ashley Williams and Andrew Walker.
I know Ashley Williams, certainly, and I know she does a lot of these.
She does a lot of these. I would consider both of them Hallmark royalty.
Oh, yeah. Those are big. Yeah.
They're two big ones. In fact, we'll be seeing him next week.
Oh, man.
He's back already.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're 2 of the big Hallmark stars.
Okay.
Yeah, Ashley Williams, you probably know from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. I mean, she's in a lot of stuff. I see her, yeah.
She's in a lot of stuff.
Both her and her sister are big on Hallmark.
Yes, and there was the one year where they did movies together.
That was big. That was huge.
That was big.
Yeah.
You had to watch both of them.
Yeah, of course.
This one is an unadventurous school teacher gets signed up for a Christmas-themed reality competition show where she's paired with former hockey player Wes.
No network would greenlight that.
It's basically...
Are you kidding me?
The Amazing Race Christmas.
Yeah, the fantasy world of Hallmark is like Christmas is so incredibly important to everyone in the world in these movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of her family members are going out of town for Christmas.
Obviously.
And so she's gonna be by herself. So her sister comes to her at work and is like, oh, by the way, I signed you up for this Christmas race show called the Holiday Dash.
Like halfway out the door, like, just real quick, one other thing. I forgot to mention this. It's crazy.
They're like in the staff room at the school and she's having lunch. And her sister's like, by the way, you're competing on the Holiday Dash and you might win $1 million.
I also love the idea that a TV show would let you sign someone else up without their consent.
Yeah.
Like
she had no idea.
Yeah, the legality of that is not great.
And she's understandably like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And
I
then her
never
sister's
asked for
like,
this.
well, you're kind of boring lately, basically. Like, you need to get out of your
Too
shell.
freaking
So
bad.
you're going on the show.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
that is rough.
It was kind of rough. I was like, geez, she's at work.
But I'm guessing
What?
she's going to meet a hunk and fall in love.
Yeah, so this year the show decides you're not going to compete by yourself. We've put you in pairs.
Okay.
And she gets paired up with Wes, who's a famous former hockey player.
So hunky.
Who's like trying to, become relevant again.
Ah.
Yeah. So they get paired up.
Okay.
For the race. I will say, I feel like for this plot where we're like traveling from location to location, we needed a bigger budget for a plot of this size.
I don't think of Hallmark as a place where a lot of globe trotting is done.
Yeah, like we're going all over the United States.
Right.
So it's like we needed a little bit more money because we can't really do much.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
These tasks, like it's hitting hockey pucks into things. It's fairly low stakes.
And very Canadian.
Like no one would probably I think if anyone actually watched the show, they'd be like, this is very boring. They're not doing anything.
Like I said, I just can't imagine that it's like, oh, good, a Christmas theme reality competition. What?
One
weird.
of the competitions is window decorating.
Yeah. Okay.
They have to do like one of the 12 days of Christmas. Like you have to make a window display for that.
Yeah,
and
the department store.
Yeah, for the department.
What
And then
year
it's
is
going to be
this?
in one of the department shows in New York. I'm like, this would just not be very interesting to watch.
No, I don't. Yeah. Forget the movie. The show within the movie seems not great.
This does have a classic Hallmark trait of someone overhearing the wrong part of a conversation.
Yeah. Classic misunderstanding.
The worst.
Classic misunderstanding.
And saying, I no longer like you because I heard what you said, but she missed the nice part of what he said.
Yep.
And so they have to
taken out of context.
That. Yep. Which I don't think I've seen this year. They haven't really been doing that.
It feels like one they would always go to. That would be just a classic, yeah. All right, how many gingerbread are you giving it?
I mean, it's perfectly fun. They're enjoyable to see. There's a very cute gay couple who just like to cook.
Okay.
Who I actually wanted them to win the competition, even though I knew they wouldn't because
the main characters have to win.
The main people have to win, but I thought they were better competitors. I'll give it 3. It's perfectly walkable.
3 gingerbread men for Jingle Bell Run.
Yep.
Okay, so is this the last one?
This is the last one.
Okay, and that one is called?
Confessions of a Christmas Letter.
Confessions of a Christmas Letter. Oh, I bet they're spicy.
Yep. This stars Angela Kinsey, who obviously was on The Office.
That's Angela Kinsey, who played Angela on The Office.
On The Office?
That's, a reasonably big poll for Hallmark.
Yeah. She's great on Hallmark. She actually is funny. Which,
that helps a lot.
We don't always have on Hallmark.
No,
charmingly.
From my outsider's perspective of not really watching these, but just sort of seeing pieces of them, I feel like amusing is a better word for these than funny, or like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like they're just
amusing is a good one.
Yeah, they're pleasant, but they're not. You're not going to be. You're not laughing. You might get an occasional.
Yeah, you're gonna chuckle.
Yeah. But it's not. There's not going to be. I don't see them having like that joke just crushed.
No, I haven't seen a lot of that. No.
And you don't often go to these and there's this one bit. Oh my God, so good.
No, I've yet to see that. Something real funny happened.
Yeah. Oh God, so good.
So it has Angela Kinsey, and then it has Alex Santos, who we saw last week in Unwrapping Christmas. Tina's Miracle.
I don't think I realized until doing this how many people are in multiple ones within a year. Like I knew they had sort of a rep company of people who come back again and again and again. I didn't realize though how much people are doing multiple ones a year.
Yeah, because he was the lead in one last week, and also the actress who plays the daughter in this also has a small part in Reason for the Season.
Oh.
So I'm seeing a lot of people pop up in these.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah, and then there is also a cameo from Brian Baumgartner.
Who was Kevin on The Office?
So we got Kevin, who has a cameo as a post office worker who she has a bit of a conflict with. At the start of the movie, they have a little
and you're like, I know these people from another show they did together.
Yes. Yeah. It's very much that. You're like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah. And they say, I'd sure hate to work in an office with you. No.
Yeah. I will say, it's weird to hear his actual voice.
Yeah, he doesn't sound anything like Kevin.
I'm so used to him sounding like Kevin that I'm like, at first I was like, what's wrong with his voice?
He has a totally normal
voice.
So
I remembered like, oh wait, that's
if you go back and watch the pilot and maybe even some of the first season of The Office, he's not doing the full Kevin voice and he sounds more like that. But yeah, he does not sound like Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little cameo from him.
All right. And I know that I've seen a lot of the promotion has been about that.
Yes. Yeah,
even though it's just one scene
like,
cameo.
let's draw in those Office fans.
Yeah. They should have got more. We should have had Stanley in there, too, while we're at it.
Yeah. So this one is when quirky family matriarch Steady Rose enlists struggling novelist Juan to help her in the town's annual holiday letter writing contest. A mix-up leads to the rumor that Juan is engaged to Seti's daughter, Lily.
Uh-oh. Now, this sounds like a crazy misunderstanding.
This is a crazy misunderstanding of the daughter's coming home from Italy. I think she was traveling around Italy. And and the grandparents accidentally bought a sign that said, "Congratulations, Lily," instead of "Welcome home, Lily."
Uh-oh.
And so when Lily arrives and Juan arrives at the same time, the neighbor thinks they're engaged based on the banner.
And of course, like any human being, you would obviously just go, oh, no, that's not what happened.
Well, no, because this family hates this neighbor, and the neighbor's a real piece of work. So they're like, well, we're not going to let her badmouth our daughter, so we're going to go along with, yeah, she is engaged.
Badmouth our daughter?
Well, apparently the daughter was engaged last Christmas to a different guy, and that ended, and this woman's like, oh, wow, she really, like, gets around. Wait, and they're like, oh, hell no.
Well, so she's engaged again. Doesn't that confirm her suspicions? She keeps getting engaged?
Don't know. He's basically like, how long's this one gonna last?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, how dare you.
Start the clock.
Yeah. Whole thing is just, I'm going to badmouth this family at every opportunity I have.
Jeez.
To rip them apart.
Jeez.
And she, of course, always wins the Christmas letter writing
competition. Of course.
Yes. So that's why we have Juan,
who's
Alex Santos,
to
be the ghostwriter for the Christmas letter. So he has to come in, I think, for 2 weeks and get to know the family and write a beautiful letter so that Angela Kinsey can finally win this competition.
So many people. Not only so many people
are just pretend to be engaged to the daughter.
That's what I mean. So many people are just ready to get on board with this too. Like
he also they all wear matching onesies at breakfast.
Obviously.
And even he has the onesie on. Which apparently was the onesie for the fiance from last year, and they're like, well, we'll just give it to you.
Here.
Because we still have it.
Take the old guy's onesie.
Yeah.
You're about the same size.
And then there's a whole thing where the son doesn't want to be involved in the letter, so then at first they're pretending the son doesn't exist. They don't tell him there's a son. And then, of course, something happens and he finds out there is a son. And I'm like, well, I don't know why we were lying about that. You could have just said I have a son, but he doesn't want to be in the letter.
Nope.
But then he wants to be in it once he knows there's a famous writer. I did really like the son, the brother, actually. That character does have a husband, but I'm not sure the husband ever speaks.
They do that a lot. We've mentioned this, little, I feel like, before, where it's just like they'll put side characters in, but like don't involve them really.
The husband's around, but he doesn't really say anything. He's just sort of like sitting there and will like smile and nod. but they really don't give him lines.
Brilliant.
And I'm like, that's weird. Why isn't that guy talking?
Brilliant.
I will say I did say some mean things about Alex Santos in Unwrapping Christmas. I will say he was much better in this one. I think this was a better written movie and a better written part, and he was a lot better in this. I think he just had more to work with.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So that was more of the material last time.
I think it was more the material. I thought he was actually pretty charming.
How many gingerbread are you giving it?
You know, it's interesting. When I first started watching this, I'm like, this is not very good, and this is going to pain me to say it's not very good. But it really grew on me. Like, I really started to like these characters.
This was your sleeper hit of the year.
Yeah, so I was going to give it like a 1 or a 2, and I'm going to give it a 3, because I think it's actually worth watching.
There you go. 3.
It's not great, but it's pretty charming.
3 gingerbread men for Confessions of a Christmas Letter. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's there you go. That's your week that was. Is this going to be consistently 5 now going forward?
For this week, yes. The week of Thanksgiving, there's like 8.
Oh, jeez. So next one's strap in, folks, because next week's going to be jam packed. Is what you're saying?
So the next week I will be talking about 5 again, and the week after I will be talking about an absurd amount, because they're going to start doubling how many they air on a day.
Well, they got to get through 47, right?
They've gotten to get through 47. I think right now I've watched like 26 or something.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's wild. Well,
which is a lot.
Your commitment to this is commendable, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, of course, if you want more from us here at the Punch Up Entertainment Network, head over to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/punchup. That's PunchUpENT. There you get cool exclusive bonus content, as well as help support all the shows on the network. And, of course, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right here on YouTube. That really helps our algorithm and numbers to grow this channel. But that's going to do it. We'll check back in with you next week.